Lisa Smith, occupational therapist and owner of ADHDonschedule.com. And today we're going to be talking about the negativity surrounding kids with ADHD. So I work in an elementary school, and right now it is parent-teacher conference time. And I was reminded of a time quite long ago when my daughter had her parent-teacher conference. And I remember they would often start off the same way. The teacher would say, "Oh, she's very bright, but..." And then I would wait, and sure enough, your daughter is very bright, but she seems very anxious all the time. She is not participating. She does not play with friends. She likes to be on the sidelines. And I remember saying, "Well, is there anything good that you can tell me about my daughter?" And the teacher said, "Well, she does know a lot about dinosaurs." And to be fair, at the time, my daughter was very obsessed with dinosaurs. And she said, she's always talking about them and reciting facts and information about them, but I don't know how far that's going to get her in life. And, I wasn't going to say this on the video, but I think I'm going to. So anyway, fast forward about 20 years now, and my daughter is now studying evolutionary biology in a PhD program at Princeton University. So don't ever discount the fact that some of the extreme interests that your kids have will not turn out to be something meaningful. So anyway, I digress. So there's an interesting study that just came out recently that said that it's estimated that kids with ADHD, by the time they are age 10, will have heard 20,000 more negative comments than positive ones in their life. And what are those things that they're hearing? Well, they're things that probably are things that you have heard about your kids, right? They're lazy. If only they tried harder, if they put more effort into things, that they're purposefully disobedient. And so what do our kids, think about that when they hear those things? And they become aware very quickly that they are not like other kids. And there's become this almost epidemic of a blanket of shame that kids with ADHD have. And, shame is different than guilt. Guilt is feeling bad about something that you've done, and shame is feeling bad about who you are. And they have to deal with both of those things. So what do? Oftentimes they try to compensate by, maybe they try to be perfect. They think that if I do everything right, then, people will look at me and they can't say anything bad about me. Or maybe a child becomes angry, they lash out. Even things that you can't understand. Why are they getting so angry and so upset over this? That's the way that they deal with it. Other kids will deal with it by just withdrawing and shutting down and giving up. It's just like, well, why bother? Why try anymore? And some kids use humor, and, they would rather be the class clown than the one who is singled out for, having some of the behaviors of being a kid with ADHD. So what can we do? Well, we can stop perpetuating, obviously, these myths about ADHD. And more importantly, we can educate ourselves about all of the components of ADHD. And research has also shown that aside from medication, the most effective treatment for kids with ADHD is parent training and teacher training. So we can only do that by learning and educating ourselves. I know as a parent, we are not given training on ADHD and executive functioning skills and how the brain works. And honestly, even as teachers and school professionals, most get very minimal, if any, training in those areas. So we need to do the educating so that we can help our kids. And I would like to invite you from this point forward. We're going to put the negativity aside, and we are going to try to make good things happen for your kid.